The biggest exchange in Korea, so you can kind of think of it as the Binance or the Coinbase of Korea, was hacked for $37 million worth of Solana assets.
Welcome to Soul Brothers with my good friend Eno and myself Simon, where it is our job to throw you into the Solana rabbit hole and show you around in our exciting ecosystem.
Our mission is to take you on the latest and greatest so that you never run out of fun things to talk about. Simon, how are you, my friend?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm recovering from a little sickness, so low energy, but my head works again, so that's great.
Okay.
And we do have a lot on the agenda today. It is a packed episode as always. What do you think is the most exciting piece that sticks out to you?
It's
Yeah.
probably the hack that we're just about to talk about, but I don't want to zoom in too quickly. So zooming out, what are some of the things that we're going to cover?
So definitely that one. So we're going to talk about this fairly big hack that happened right now, based on from a centralized exchange. But besides that, we're also going to talk about the Monet token launch, because MON is the ticker, was the top traded asset on Solana in the last week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We also have a Solana native hardware wallet that is now ready for pre-orders, and I actually know for a fact that the team has been tinkering since quite a while. So I'm looking forward to that one. We are going to talk about Soulflare and their TradFi meets DeFi strategy. Really exciting news, honestly. So happy to chat about that. Besides some other Soulflare news, like Soulflare to the moon. So we're gonna see what that really means. And we have some updates from the SNS ecosystem as well, because their ecosystem map is getting larger and larger as they are pushing integrations throughout the whole ecosystem. And we also have some updates regarding the margin engine V2 from FlashTrade, which is probably the most anticipated feature or upgrade they are tinkering on since a while now. So we're also gonna take a look at that one, besides some other minor news. But without further ado, let us jump into it.
Yeah. So the first piece of news that we have for today is the biggest exchange in Korea. So you can kind of think of it as the Binance or the Coinbase of Korea. Was hacked for $37 million worth of Solana assets. It's a very, very long laundry list of assets, Simon. This includes many of our friends, Double Zero, Bonk, Doodles, Drift, Jito. I love how the way that Koreans spell Jito is kind of with a hard J, so they it's Zito. Jupe tokens, Soulflare, Magic Eden, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of tokens that we're familiar with here. Now, obviously, this wasn't an issue with the Solana network, right? Like, it's not like there was a issue with the protocol itself. So, you've probably looked at a couple of these cases as well in the past. I mean, I think we both have. So, what's your take on like what happened here most likely?
Yeah, I think I actually don't know the specifics about the hack. I don't know if we have details yet.
We do not.
Yeah. But we do know that actually it was just right now, right? Like a couple hours ago, like 4 a.m. Korean time. It's what I have on my notes. That there were abnormal withdrawals.
Hmm.
That were observed in the exchange, and it was 54 billion Korean won, so $37 million, and they're all in Solana based assets. So as you just mentioned, including some memes as well. I think Bonk was in there, even Mudang and Official Trump, I see. Even though Upbit obviously has like a security department, they are observing these things, and as soon as something like this happens, since it is a centralized exchange, they can freeze the wallets and pause all the Solana deposits or withdrawals. So they did that. They moved everything into cold storage and teamed up with probably the police as well and some other security companies to freeze some of the assets that have been stolen as well. Right now, the rest is still being chased on chain. I do see here that $18 billion in stolen layer tokens from our friends from Soulflare are already frozen right now, while others couldn't be frozen yet. So it definitely hurts. for the ecosystem. Such a big hack. I think the last time Upbit got hacked was a long time ago. 2019, I think is the I read somewhere. So I think they are fairly safe, but there's still security issues here and there. But it is, these guys have a huge target on their back. Let's be real. Like hacks happen nowadays a lot of times, and if you have billions and millions of dollars under management and you're a purely digital business, I think it's you have a big target on your back, and you get your shit together, or you get hacked and you disappear. I don't think it's any issue for them. This amount of money, they actually said that they're going to reimburse everyone, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So they will be reimbursing the full amount to all their users. They obviously have the war chest to do so.
Okay.
And I think my prevailing theory here is that it's the North Koreans, not only because of the proximity to our country, but also it just makes a lot of sense to me that with hacks of this size, right, across a variety of assets, and probably like dozens of wallets, if not more. And I could be surprised, by the way, but I would imagine that there was some level of social engineering involved. And when
Could
I
be.
think, how do you social engineer a Korean person? Probably other Koreans, and that would probably be the North Koreans.
Mm.
um, so,
Mm.
anywho, sad
Interesting.
to hear it. Glad that they weren't drained for more, and hopefully this is just the end of that. And congratulations to the hacker, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that comes right after, I think, they just merged, right? We covered this in a different episode. They just merged with
Yeah,
Neighbor.
Naver. Yeah,
Yeah.
Naver. Correct.
So
Yeah.
probably they're like, damn, we just bought ourselves a $37 million kind of hole, basically financial hole in the company, because now Neighbor basically owns that hack, so they have to compensate for it. Um, and they have the pockets. I genuinely think 37 million for them is not a lot of money, but it is money, and it hurts every business person, right?
Mm.
To see that go. But on the other side, it also gives you the opportunity to prove that you can make your users full again. So it gives you the opportunity for positive marketing and branding and positioning.
Yeah.
If you look at the bright side of
Uh,
things.
yeah. A battle tested platform. Is
Exactly.
that what? That's what
Yeah.
people always say when they get hacked. Battle tested. Anywho,
Yep.
we have some really interesting numbers over the last 48 hours. With the Sunrise launch, over 131 million in total volume for Monet. Over 360,000 in trades and 21,000 unique traders. We've been covering this narrative since last week, and we're seeing more and more of this trend with so-called competitor chain tokens launching on Solana. And the new narrative that I'm seeing pushed from Foundation over and over again is, why list on a CEX when you can list on Solana day one?
Hmm. Yep. I mean, that is kind of the future you want to see, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we've been talking about when there was, I feel like there was like a tipping point, probably when we launched our token. I was like late 24, mid 24. I think there was like a tipping point where the sentiment around centralized exchanges became more and more negative. I mean, obviously FTX kind of made an impact in the market. Um,
sure.
but that is more on the user side of things. I mean the project side of things. Projects became more and more demotivated to talk to CEXs and get extracted by them. So this now offers us an alternative, which is just launch permissionlessly on Solana. It's not easy. You can't just drop a token and expect it to pump. Which what you could probably do that on Binance a few years back. But it gives you the a level playing field where you can now compete for attention for your token, and you have everyone there already looking at it, right? You have the users there, and I think that's pretty insane. And Honestly, Solana DEX did 40.8 million more Monet trading volume than Binance in the last 24 hours. That is pretty crazy. We're doing significantly more trading volume of that asset on Solana compared to Binance. Why is that actually? Is that do you think it's asset specific? Is it because of Monad, or is it more like a general trend that we're observing? Could every token do that, or do you need to be Monad to do that?
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
Monet specifically targeted and marketed to Solana degens. And
That's what I
so
think.
that obviously has a boost. If
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just a new L2, L1, whatever, I doubt that they would have achieved similar results unless they would do the same playbook as Monad. Um,
mm,
and also, Monad, it's very clear, got the full weight of the support from Solana Labs, Anza Foundation, Toli, Lily,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
So, doubt it, but still impressive. Very, very
Mm,
impressive.
mm.
So yeah, that's kind of my hunch there.
Cool. No, I think at least it gives us it pushes us in the right direction, and it is a great example for future projects to look at something and be like, okay, I can try it on Solana instead of going full on my sex kind of journey. That sounds very wrong. On my Sandrise Exchange journey, and try to to close all these malicious deals with these guys. Um,
It's okay,
anyway,
man. You can go on a sex journey if you want to. Moving on.
yeah, whatever. What do you got for us?
Yeah. So we have a new hardware wallet called unruggable.io. As you can see, pre-orders are now live. I do not know what the differentiation is here compared to, let's say, Ledger. The only thing that they mention in the marketing that's very clear to me is that this is a Solana first wallet in the same way that Soulflare is a Solana first wallet. What does perplex me is that it doesn't seem like there's a screen. Maybe behind that frog character, maybe it flips up. But from my first impressions, I don't see any presence of a screen. So that does perplex me a little bit. So I'm not so sure how that hardware wallet is supposed to work, except for, I don't know, blind signed, literally.
Yeah. So I know for a fact that these guys are trying really hard to. I mean, first of all, they've been a Colosseum breakout winner. That's kind of, I think, how they became relevant in the industry. And they want to increase the they want to build better user experience for on-chain users. So they want you to use that wallet also on all your DeFi activities and so on, as much as possible. And that's what this device is supposed to do better than all the other hardware wallets. Because usually, if you have a ledger, I have a ledger and I never use it, right? Like usually, the ledger just stays in your whatever safe or pocket or whatever. You don't need to put it in a safe, by the way. That's makes no sense. But your ledger, you don't use it a lot. But this one, you should be able to use as like a hot wallet, like your Soulflare, basically, all the time, but with hardware wallet security built in, which I think is fairly cool. We definitely need to see how this actually looks like by using it. I guess that's the best way to do it. So it might be a good idea to get one of these and maybe do a little product review or something, because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, they claim in their marketing that you get access to all of the services, all the transactions that you would like in 2 clicks, which makes
Oh.
this even more confusing to me. Because what I expect from a hardware wallet is some sort of password protection feature, maybe a little bit of biometrics, certainly the ability to view which transaction I'm signing. I'm not saying that this is a bad idea, but it certainly is poorly explained. So
Mm.
I would like to better understand how exactly this wallet works. They have a shit ton of partners that they're working with, and this is really key here. If you are interested in a pre-order shipping, will start in Q2 of
Mm.
2026. My best estimate is probably Q3 or Q4 of 2026. Why? Because hardware projects are fucking hard. I do not envy them. Cool. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the unruggable cold storage wallet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Let's see how they do. Definitely made a big splash with the announcement now. Um, so yeah, maybe worth talking with the team as well at some point. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Well, so I
Cool. But
what? So I can tell them that their marketing sucks to their face.
yep. And get them, give them the chance to defend themselves. Maybe
Yeah.
they have something to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's say out of pocket shit first, beg for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
So moving on to sponsor updates. Everybody at this point should already know what X Stocks Fi does. They are a new player that came on the scene this year. We were very shocked and surprised to see that we had tokenized representations of stocks on Solana, 24-hour trading. But it's here. It's been here for a few months, and there's this new feature within Soulflare Wallet called Soulflare Stocks. My understanding is that it is simply an explorer within the Soulflare Wallet that only lists the assets listed by X stocks. So it's not like Soulflare has, released their own tokenized assets, but they do certainly want to provide more visibility, discoverability, as well as trading and attention to U.S. equities specifically. So some obvious stocks that are on chain would be Nvidia, Tesla, Circle, etc. So if you want access to financial markets, you don't even need KYC with this, Simon, which is
Mhm.
phenomenal. I did not think that would happen.
Yeah, and look at the features as well. I think it's really cool. Dividends auto rebalanced or rebased to your wallet, which is cool. Like you actually get, you get fractional ownership, non-custodial control, and plus 24/7 accessibility throughout the whole year. Exactly, basically Wall Street but Solana coded. That's pretty much what it is, right? Like it is like trading a stock on Wall Street, just better. That's how it feels like because you have better access to it and it's non-custodial. Mm.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's probably if we do a deep dive on X stocks, we would probably be able also to at least discover a few flaws here and there in the whole setup. Um, of basically trading these synthetics of stocks on chain. Mm, because yeah, you're using a middleman, right? At the end of the day, which is X stocks, to tap into the markets here. So you're not directly buying from the Nasdaq or something, the stock. There's definitely also for legal reasons, there's an entity in between that manages things and does the real world asset tokenization of these stocks for you. Probably some security risks in there as well. So just want to say that there's enough to talk about to create some controversy, but I think the positives heavily outweigh the potential flaws in that system because you can give access for everyone to stocks. I think that's huge. Like I know people that couldn't buy stocks before this, and now they can. So yeah, the feature has been live on Soulflare since a while. And yeah, you have an explore page in your wallet where you can either tap on tokens and you see tokens, and you tap on stocks and you see all the stocks. That's how it works in a nutshell. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Also, Soulflare cooked up a really interesting campaign. I actually think that this campaign was from months ago. I don't think this is a recent thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, there was. I
Yeah,
think there's an award
it's
for the
been a while.
most viral X campaign,
Yeah.
and obviously we had the first Solana transaction in space in partnership with Solid Store, Bonk, and Soulflare. Obviously, so if you want to vote for this community award, which is being organized by the title sponsor of Breakpoint, Soulflare. You can simply go over to Community Spotlights. You can see the Opos Award for the project or person who most embodied Opos in 2025, showcasing something uniquely enabled by Solana's tech or culture. And if you look at option number, this is this not it? Well, excuse me, most viral X campaign. We have
Mm,
Solid Store, Neku AI, Play Solana, Pudgy Penguins. Don't want to play
mhm.
favorites here, but do love anything that has to do with both Soulflare and Bonk. So, boom, that is how
Yeah.
you vote. It is just that simple. Go over to solana.com/breakpoint/Solana and navigate your way all the way to the most viral X campaign on the Builders Awards. And, we should just go down this list later after this
Yeah,
podcast
that'd be cool.
and start voting on our
Yeah.
favorites.
Cool, cool. By the way, the transaction was actually 8 months ago on the 4th of April at 11 a.m. Yeah, I still have the Sol scan saved from that exact transaction that happened in space. So it's really funny, actually. You can look at the transaction that happened in space and you can see what happened, who sent what to who. Really interesting kind of side fact. But
Yeah.
yeah, I also would give my vote to our friends from Solid here.
Well, it also sounds very, very similar to your own project name. So vote solid, get solid. Anywho, um,
Exactly.
bringing back an oldie but a goodie. If you weren't familiar with the LFG token launch
Yep.
pad voting, that was Simon's campaign slogan.
I
Uh,
forgot this.
moving on, of course, to a shit ton, quite frankly, of new ecosystem partners in the SNS service map. These partners obviously were not added like yesterday. They've been added over a period of time, I think over the last month. And that includes Unruggable, which is the wallet that we just covered, Vibe Network, Icon Shop, Get Soul Play, Maddle Fund, Domain Dex, Cherry.Fund, Helios, Lit Trade, Stake Toby, NC Hero, Flash Trade, hello, Magic Swap Pro, Buy Real, oh, also hello, and Lince Finance. So this is just a PSA that SNS is always adding new partners to their ecosystem. And why are they doing that, Simon? Why do they work so hard? Huh? The BD team is so busy over at SNS.
It's their whole fucking business. That's all they have to do. Honestly, I mean, obviously they have to own the .sol premise and the domain, but if they are not integrated in the whole ecosystem on Solana, um, they cannot basically distribute their domains everywhere. What is your domain good for if you can't use it? So
Yeah.
it is the main job, I think, actually should be to enable the usage of .sol domains wherever I go. And so if I log into FlashTrade, I see my little .sol domain in the corner. That is much better than my PubKey. It just makes the user experience better everywhere, right? I think we all, if you're a heavy DeFi user, you kind of know your pub keys already. So you remember the beginning or the ending or both. So when you logged in somewhere, you're like, this is this wallet. But that can't be the future. So it's much better to have like a human readable name there.
Yeah. And in terms of new integrations, new features, one thing that I've always loved and appreciated about SNS is just how much care and love and attention they put into outside feedback. So many teams, this includes Sanctum, Jupiter, like obviously we listen to our communities. Um, but at the same time, we don't really have a system for it. I guess for a long time, at least for Jupiter and Sanctum, it was the research forums. We
Mm.
have these kind of Git books, interactive Git books, where we allow people to. Maybe it's not Git, but anywho, we have these forums where people can post different governance proposals or even feature ideas. The reason why I
Mm.
mention this is because there's a new feedback board that the SNS team has put together for their community to directly suggest new roadmap changes or even features. So it's officially live. It's one place for ideas, voting, and transparent progress tracking. So it's a two-way street. Not only do you have the community putting ideas onto the board, but you have the team that's updating the board so that people have full visibility into what the team is working on, which is very bullish for SNS holders. And as an example, this is what the sleek plan app looks like. So
Mm.
it's very Reddit style, right? Not a lot of
Mm.
posts here just yet, but this will be how people track and suggest features to SNS in the future.
Cool, makes sense. So if you want to take part in SNS, kind of overall, then I think that's a good place. Good place to start.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Simon, are you getting excited for Breakpoint?
I am getting excited for Breakpoint, 100%.
Yes.
It's getting
Well,
very close.
then I have the event for you. It looks extremely exciting. It involves a little bit of fire. SNS is going to be holding the MetaMask Builder Night in collaboration, obviously, with the MetaMask. And so on December 11th, which is the first day of Solana Breakpoint, there's a chance to not only hear from top Web3 minds, but also share ideas and meet fellow builders. So you can RSVP at this Luma over here. Simply go over to the luma.com/BN Solana. And you can register for this Builders Night. There's a bunch of different co-hosts, but obviously SNS is the first among our favorites. So, yep, that's what's going on with SNS and Breakpoint.
Yes, sir. You'll find me there as well.
Oh yeah, are you going to go to the event?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll show up at least for a little bit.
So this is where I'm going to need a little bit more of your help because I think you pay attention to the let's say improvements with. Oh, the cats are getting their food. You guys happy? Okay. I apologize for the sudden beeping. It's the robots.
Nice. The robots are feeding cats.
But I bet you that those robots don't have margin V2, which is margin engine V2. So there's actually 3 phases to margin engine V2. So in V1, obviously, we have migration of positions, USD-based collateral, and referral system upgrades. For the second phase, we're going to have, it's going by too fast, but at the very last phase, we're going to have auto deleveraging. So I can read phase 3. I can't read phase 2. It's too quick. But yeah, there are 3 phases to margin engine V2. So you want to tell us a little bit what's going on over there?
If you can share my screen, we can actually use and also refer to some of the. So one quick article that we can refer to here is from FlashTrade, and the gist of this article is more about the scaling of the perp DEX using magic blocks. Which is part of the overall strategy here, and it is part of the margin engine V2 as well. But doing this, like using magic block, helps them to, bottom line, just be faster. Okay, so you're going to get faster execution while still stay decentralized, because you do not have a single entity controlling the execution, as it is the case with other perpetual DEXs that we have in crypto that are not using a true decentralized system. It stays censorship resistant, which also plays into number 1. Validators compete to include each trade still. Healthier microdynamics, multiple executors reduce MEV and toxic flow, and fairness distributed execution prevents latency and ordering games. Overall, it builds a fairer and faster system. So basically, the idea with Magic Block, on using Magic Block, is to make the system faster without giving away any of the other premises that we love about decentralized systems, right? So that's one thing. And Margin Engine V2 is part of this larger plan, how it scales. I think when we see the full thing being implemented, when Margin Engine V2 is live, and there's another article that dives deeper. It's been posted a while ago. You can also find it on Anna's profile, on the founder of FlashTrade's profile. And we will be able to just have much more assets on FlashTrade that we can trade with, which is going to be really cool. It's going to be faster thanks to magic blocks, and it's going to also move the LP model a little bit around. So there most likely will be, if I'm correctly informed, only one pool that feeds all the trading pairs, basically. Because what Margin Engine V2 allows you as well is to use the same liquidity pool for all perps that are listed on FlashTrade, which is actually a true innovation that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, I think they are right now heavily cooking on that front, because they have been locked in together with the Magic Block team in the past few weeks, as I know, somewhere in Dubai. So
Yeah,
that's why we see a few updates coming in. Really cool, good stuff.
But there's a couple more updates that we'd love to share from the Flash Trade universe. The first
Mm.
thing that we want to share is that they have a lot of different FLPs, Simon. It's too many FLPs, and they're all named a little bit confusingly. But for FLP 8,
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be just
I
one in the future. Just saying.
okay, all right. Well, for FLP.8, they've added ore to the pool.
Yeah.
So one of the advantages of the different FLPs is, in addition to holding the spot asset itself, it also amasses the trading fees, which is why it makes a lot of sense for you to hold a basket of assets that also,
Sorry.
bless you, a basket of
So,
assets that holds not only the asset itself, but the trading that comes. So, because if you believe in the asset, then you also most likely believe that it will have high trading volumes. And if you're
mm.
investing in assets that you believe don't have high trading volumes, you're a moron. So,
Mhm.
um, anywho, the point being is that it's much more preferable to hold a basket of assets that you feel are correlated, and also trade against each other, or trade highly against USDC or Sol or what have you. So yeah, if you are a believe or and you want exposure to the asset in a way that gives you not only the asset itself but also trading fees on top associated with the asset, please do consider FOP.8.
Which has currently a small weekly APY of 1,292%.
Yeah, just tiny, just tiny.
Ridiculous. It's gonna change. It's gonna trend downwards, most likely.
Of
But
course.
still, I think Aura can have a pretty strong APY, honestly,
Yes.
in Flash. So yeah, just keep monitoring it if you're interested in it. You can go on flash.solbrotherspot.com and set up your account, and then either trade perps or earn FLP yields.
There's a fart pool. I love that.
Yep. There's a fart pool, there's an aura pool, there's a whiff pool. They just removed the Samo pool. There was a Samo pool as well, the dog meme coin,
Yeah.
because there was just not trading activity anymore. But yeah, arguably FLP1 is the biggest one because it holds the majors, ETH, BTC, and Sol, and actually also Zcash by now. So you get exposure to all these assets by holding FLP1 token, plus the weekly APY that comes from yield from trading activity on FlashTrade.
100%. And last thing that we want to share is, obviously, there's, for the Soulflare community awards, a category called Rising Star for trading. And obviously we have a lot of favorites here. We love Ranger Finance, we love Jupiter Exchange, we love FlashTrade. Fuck DeFi Tuna. But you go over to solana.com/breakpoint/awards. And if you go over to, let's call it, Rising Star Trading, we can very simply boop. We love Flash Trade. There you go. We just we voted for Flash Trade for the Rising Star for trading. I know that Simon's going to do exactly the same. So
Yep.
cast your votes now. You have only a limited time, I think a week.
All right. I think that's a wrap, ladies and gents. That has been your second weekly update for all things Solana here together with the Soul Brothers. So I would say we leave you to it. Enjoy the rest of your week. And thanks for tuning in. As always, subscribe to our YouTube account, please, and like this video because it helps us grow. We will see you at the next one early next week when it's time again to chat about all new things on Solana. Until then, we hope you're well. See you then. Bye bye.
Bye.